So welcome back, guys. This next video is really going to be about dealing with pressure. A lot of people deal with pressure all the time, and it's one of the things that obviously can be difficult to deal with, considering, it can be an internal situation, it could be an external situation. It really just kind of depends on, the circumstances that you're going through. For me, pressure has always been more internalized, but really just dealing with pressure is something that can be very excruciating at times, knowing that there's something important or something that can make or break a situation often gives people a lot of trouble. And so really what I wanted to do with this video is kind of just talk to you about how me dealing with my pressure, me dealing with my situation has a lot of key advice or key learning experiences that I think could be beneficial for other people. So for me personally, I think one of the things that I've learned about dealing with pressure is really learning yourself. If you know yourself, it makes everything 10 times easier to deal with as far as external pressure and things like that. Now, internal pressure, that kind of comes with the territory. Knowing yourself and knowing what you're capable of is something that can be really beneficial for you as far as just getting yourself together. Obviously, that type of learning experience only comes from really going through the amount of pressure that you deal with. So experience is the best teacher for dealing with pressure, which sucks because, obviously that's not the most intriguing way to deal with it, but that's often the best way to at least understand it and work from there. So, like I said, I really just kind of wanted to talk to you about just the understanding of dealing with the type of challenges that come with, like I said, whether it comes from your family or your friends or your loved ones or anything like that. Really getting yourself in tune and I guess more aligned with your own personal wants and goals is something that will help alleviate some of that pressure from yourself. I think that for me, reading, listening to music, and just finding myself through other means as far as possibly doing hobbies that I enjoy, like basketball, video games, things like that, have helped me sometimes really distract myself from the pressure that I'm going through, but often at times have given me a different reality that kind of let me look at things from a different viewpoint. So that's something that I encourage each of y'all to do. For me personally, I have a bunch of things that I think could be considered something that I have to work on as far as the external factors that seem to be pushing me to be more, do more, and as well as the internal ones as well. Like I said, being the first generation college graduate in my family was something that was a lot of pressure on me. At times there was questions about, why am I doing this? Is college for me? I'm doing all this work, but who is it for? Is it for me? Is it for other people? What am I working for? And wanting to make my family proud, wanting to make people proud around me, wanting to not feel like, I'm gonna quit on this, or I'm gonna quit on myself. Even if I was to quit in that moment, I don't think I was quitting on myself. I believe that it was probably if I was gonna do it, I believe that it would have been me giving myself a chance more than quitting. And I think that's something that I deal with even now. Looking for a position that fits my role, or a role that fits my skills more than anything, I think is something that is very important to me, and it has a lot of people questioning, you know, what my motives are, what my career aspirations are. I mean, even people question about, like, why are you making YouTube? Why are you doing all these things all of a sudden? And now it's something that you want to pursue after you've done everything to put yourself in a position to get a, I guess more of a like corporate job that could expand my career more into one aspect. I think it's because I really want to open myself up to every avenue that I have as far as my creative side. Like, I don't want to be just this person that follows this career path that has to be so bland or so straightforward. I want to diversify myself because I believe I'm an individual that can be very creative and be very open to new things. And in the event that I don't like it, I mean, I'm still what I would consider young, and I can still make those situations not as impactful, given the fact that if none of this works out, did I waste time or did I really find myself? And I think that was something that was really important, and kind of like, you know, a lot of talk right now has been about one particular NBA player mentioned about how his team lost in the first round, and they asked him, do you consider this year a failure? And I've kind of thought about that, and it's like, just because something doesn't pan out or work out for you, is it ever a failure, or was it simply you just didn't meet the goal that you were looking for, but the learning experience was well worth the time? And I think that's something that's really stood out with me about that situation, was just like, did I learn enough from this situation to make it worth the time, that even if I didn't achieve my goal, it was something that was still worth all the efforts that I put into it? I think that's something that I'm figuring out, and I think that's something that pressure helps alleviate, is like, you know, dealing with all that to be in a position of success, even when it doesn't work out, when all that pressure crumbles you and basically just melts you down to nothing. Did you learn anything from that? Did you grow from that? Are you willing to take the experiences and the efforts that you put into that situation and apply them to a better position or a better opportunity in your life? Was that failure? Or did you learn? I don't know. Like I said, it's one of those things I deal with, I live with, and I'd much rather go out knowing that I was swinging for the fences rather than staring as it just passed by. So ask yourself that question, and really take a genuine look in the mirror and see if you're doing the things that you feel will better not just your financial situation, but better your career aspirations and your happiness overall. Much appreciated, much love. Catch you later.